The sound of the mop sliding across marble floors echoed in the vast hallway. Daniel, the janitor, worked silently under the dim light. Every stroke he made was a reminder of how far he'd fallen and how much farther he dreamed to climb. Once, Daniel had dreams larger than the skyscraper he cleaned. But life had other plans. His father's death forced him to abandon college, trade his books for a broom, and his youthful pride for a paycheck that barely fed his family. Each night, as others slept, Daniel studied business books from the trash. Torn pages, scribbled notes. He pieced together wisdom like a puzzle. Someday, he whispered to the empty corridor, "These hands won't just clean floors, they'll build empires." Most mocked him. A janitor dreaming of business? They sneered. Yet Daniel smiled. He knew dreams only sounded foolish to those who never dared to chase them. Every insult became a spark that fueled his quiet determination. On weekends, Daniel volunteered to clean a small local library. He loved the smell of old paper and ink. The librarian, Mrs. Hart, noticed his curiosity and began lending him books about leadership and economics. "Why do you read so much?" Mrs. Hart once asked. Daniel looked up and said softly, "Because I want to clean more than floors, ma'am. I want to clean the path to my destiny." She smiled knowingly, sensing greatness in his humility. Months passed. Daniel saved every coin he could. No coffee breaks, no new clothes, no luxuries. When coworkers mocked his worn shoes, he only replied, "These shoes are walking me somewhere, just not where you think." At night, after long shifts, he attended free online business courses at a public computer lab. His body ached, but his spirit stayed fierce. "Pain is temporary," he told himself, "but knowledge builds forever." One rainy night, he found a wallet in the restroom. Inside lay cash, cards, and a company ID. Instead of keeping it, Daniel turned it into security. The next day, the wallet's owner, a CEO, asked to meet him. "You could have taken it," the CEO said. "Why return it?" Daniel smiled. "Integrity is the only thing I can afford right now." The CEO paused, impressed. "Come to my office tomorrow. I think I have something for you." Daniel couldn't sleep that night. His mind spun with what-ifs. He wasn't afraid of failure. He was afraid of never being given the chance to fail. Morning came, and he walked to the CEO's office with trembling hands. "Sit down," said Mr. Reeves, the CEO. "I need someone honest to manage the night maintenance crew. Double your pay. Are you in?" Daniel's heart raced. It wasn't a dream job, but it was a door. And he stepped through it. Weeks turned into months. Daniel managed the crew with discipline and kindness. Productivity rose, complaints fell. Mr. Reeves noticed. "You lead like someone who's been underestimated," he remarked one evening. Daniel replied, "Sir, when life pushes you down long enough, you learn to lead from the ground." Mr. Reeves chuckled, but deep down, he saw something rare, leader-shaped, not by privilege, but by perseverance. Soon, Daniel proposed small efficiency changes, better cleaning schedules, smarter supply management. The savings impressed the board. Mr. Reeves gave him a promotion to operations assistant. Each success felt surreal, but Daniel never forgot the mop closet he started in. He often returned there during breaks, whispering gratitude into the silence. "You're where I began," he'd say, "but not where I'll end." With his new salary, Daniel re-enrolled at night college. The same halls he once mopped now echoed his footsteps as a student. It felt poetic, a circle closing and another beginning to form. He studied leadership, innovation, and finance, applying every lesson at work. Slowly, his name spread beyond his department. People began to seek his advice, unaware that the advisor once scrubbed their floors. By year's end, Mr. Reeves called him again. "You've grown faster than I imagined," he said. "How would you like to assist me directly?" Daniel's throat tightened. It was happening step by step, dream by dream. That night, Daniel stood on the rooftop, wind brushing his face. He looked at the city lights below, once symbols of distance, now reminders of progress. "This is only the beginning," he whispered. And indeed it was. Working beside Mr. Reeves changed Daniel's world. He learned not just how companies ran, but how people thought. "Leadership," Reeves said, "isn't about power. It's about trust." Daniel carried that lesson deeply. Daniel soon became known for his calm under pressure. When others panicked, he analyzed. When others blamed, he built solutions. His janitor's patience became his greatest strength in boardrooms filled with pride. One day, Reeves fell ill and had to take months off. "You'll oversee daily operations," he told Daniel. "I trust you." Daniel froze, a former janitor now leading a corporation. It felt unreal, but destiny never asks permission. The first week was chaos, delayed shipments, panicked clients, and nervous staff. Daniel stayed late every night, solving problems with steady resolve. If I could survive hunger, he thought, I can survive this storm. He walked through every department, listening more than he spoke. People don't work for paychecks, he said to a manager. They work for purpose. Slowly, morale lifted. The company began to breathe again. By month's end, profits stabilized. Reeves returned, astonished. You did more than manage, you inspired, he said. Daniel smiled humbly. I only mopped away the dust, sir. You built the floor I walk on. Reeves retired a year later and left Daniel in charge. Newspapers called it the rise of the janitor, but Daniel never sought fame. He only wanted to prove that integrity, not origin, defines destiny. As CEO, Daniel transformed the company's culture. He raised wages, funded scholarships, and built leadership programs for janitors and clerks. Talent, he said, is often hidden under uniforms, not titles. Years passed. His company expanded globally. Daniel stood at conferences telling his story, not to boast, but to ignite others. Success, he'd say, isn't about where you start. It's about refusing to stay there. But with growth came envy. Some executives plotted against him, accusing him of favoritism toward lower staff. Daniel faced the board with calm eyes. If lifting people is wrong, he said, then I'll proudly stand guilty. The boardroom fell silent. His courage disarmed them. One by one, they lowered their gaze. Leadership wasn't in his title, it radiated from his truth. That day, Daniel earned not just power, but respect. At the company's 10th anniversary under his rule, Daniel returned to the old building where it all began. The mop closet was still there, untouched. Dusty, silent, yet filled with echoes of his struggle. He picked up an old broom leaning by the wall. For a moment he smiled. You were my first partner, he whispered. You taught me humility. A tear rolled down his cheek, not of sorrow, but of gratitude. Outside, hundreds of employees gathered, cheering his name. Daniel stepped to the podium. I once swept these halls, he began. Now I lead them, but I never did it alone. Every success was built by hands like mine. He announced a new initiative, the Dreamers Program, offering mentorship for low-level workers. No dream, he said, should be limited by someone's title. The crowd erupted in applause and hope. That night, Daniel sat by his office window, city lights glimmering below. The janitor who once dreamed among those lights now shone among them. This, he thought, isn't my victory, it's humanity's. Reporters often asked, what's your secret? Daniel's answer was always the same. Respect the ground you came from. It's the only place strong enough to hold your rise. His humility became legend. As years passed, Daniel mentored dozens who rose from cleaners, drivers, and clerks to leaders. His empire wasn't built on wealth, it was built on people. That became his legacy, his silent revolution. One sunset, standing on the same rooftop from years ago, Daniel smiled. The wind whispered through his hair, carrying memories of every hardship. I was never just a janitor, he murmured. I was becoming. The stars blinked above as if bowing to his journey. From broom to boardroom, Daniel proved that greatness begins with humility. His story became a beacon for all who dared to dream beyond their scars.